What's good, YouTube? It's your man, Turn Me Up Tony, back at it with another video. You already know we're lit on this lovely Sunday night. So right now, the reaction is going to be recession fears and economic uncertainty. Is it worse than 2008? Do y'all think the time that we living in is rising to the point where we just about to lose it? Because it looks like things is really heating up, especially things that's been going on with the protests and everything that the executive orders is being signed and whatnot. Listen, I'm not too much in politics, but even I know that this world is going to shambles. So listen, I'm just gonna cut right to it. Without further ado, we about to get into the reaction and see what's going on in today's world. Let's get it.
Guys, I heard the news. Oh my god, I am kind of nervous. Because this is my first Great Depression ever. Oh my god, I'm so excited. But at the same time, I'm like nervy, I hope everything goes well for you guys though. Peace and
She's handling it well. Hey, at least you got a smile on your face, sis. Deep down, I know you're hurting on the inside. I know. Me too. We live in an economy where the job market is terrible. Everything is so expensive. So I can see where the uncertainty is at. You got to laugh now to save yourself from crying later. I get it.
Hi,
Never mind.
Dee. Thank you for stopping by. I'm back again with a compilation video on recession. If you have been following the news, you should know that there's a recession that is supposed to be coming at any time. Some people have the belief that
always having the news on, always just talking about it, because my dad was a car salesman. This man sold cars through the Great Recession. He had been selling cars in this country since the 70s. And I remember being genuinely concerned about if my dad was going to be able to afford to live. And it was also the same time my dad was dealing with immigration stuff that was costing him, at the end, it cost him like $70,000 to be able to stay in this country during the Great Recession. And when my freshman year of college, I took a psych class because I was an education major on, what has made Gen Z the way that they are. And one of the proponents of it is the Great Recession. Whether or not Gen Z was aware, they watched their parents lose their jobs. They watched their parents struggle to put food on the table. If they had older siblings that were millennials that were graduating college, they struggled finding a job. And Gen Z, no matter their age, saw this and now don't value education. They have residual trauma from it. And Gen Z is graduating college. I'm the oldest band of Gen Z. I'm 97. And now Gen Z is dealing with that themselves. They can't pay their student loans. There's no aid for them. They can't get jobs because there's no jobs. Jobs are systematically being erased. And we all thought the Great Recession was the worst thing it could be, and it got worse.
And that's the crazy thing. The key word, the key takeaway is it got worse. No, we're on the verge of the Great Depression. This is not, let alone a recession anymore. This is the Great Depression. But at the same token, you got to fight through it. You got to maneuver. You got to adapt. You got to find other ways to be self-sufficient in today's world, because it is hard. It is damn near impossible. It shouldn't even be. Matter of fact, scratch that. It shouldn't even be as near as possible the way that we're able to still sustain through this. Because, like she said, everything's expensive. It's hard to find a job. You have all these percentages and numbers of just bunch of, that's just expense. That's just constantly rising. And apparently, not even apparently, our stock market crashed. or is about to, at least what I've heard. I don't keep up with the news anymore because at this point, it's just like, for what? To inform me how to be more miserable on a day-to-day basis. I'm already struggling. I'm already having a hard time to fathom on a day-to-day basis because I'm trying to worry about how to survive. And meanwhile, I have to continue to look at these news outlets just to tell me, hey, it's only getting worse.
And that is a frightening thing as someone who is educated. And I don't have an answer. And it's really scary because I literally teach Gen Z, Gen Alpha kids. I teach them Avid. And I'm like, here's why you should go to college. And I'm back of my
College is a scam. College is a scam. In today's world, it is. Because there's people with, like I've said in one of the last videos, people with bachelor's, associates, masters are still having a hard time to find a job. So therefore, you've been scammed. Finesse 101. Welcome to Psychology Finesse 101. Welcome. Take your seats, shall we? Let's bring out the presentation of why we've been fucked for many years by this thing we like to call education. But you know what? I'm not going to sit there and make it seem like college is the worst thing. You know, you create some long-lasting relationships. You have a good experience meeting people, networking, you know, learning new skills. You know, college is an experience of a lifetime. I would recommend anyone to try it. Everyone to try it once at some point in their life. It's not the most terrible thing. But when it comes to you have to pay all this student loan and then you get into the workforce and it's damn near impossible to still find a job, that's what I have a problem with. That's the main issue. Because we still got to make a living for ourselves. Meanwhile, your university doesn't give a rat's ass how well you're doing. They just want their money. They just glad that you spent 4 years partying and making your way through the education system, taking all these tests and exams just for them to get your money from your aid and then put you in more in debt and to leave you hanging out here to barely find a job unless you have a trade. Unless you're in plumbing, construction, electrician, something that's really adds a value in today's world, it's damn near pointless. You either have to do something that's like, it has to have a necessity. Technology, AI is becoming a new thing. Getting in the field with cybersecurity, software engineering, or, you know, a trade. Plumbing, construction, electrician, whatever it is, that's in the trade field. Those are like the only things. But when it comes to like, say, a regular job for regular people, things that, you know, you just say, hey, I want to stumble across this field because this looks like something I would enjoy doing. It's damn near extinct in 2025. Damn near. And it's sad because this should be the land of the free, where we should be able to express all of our values, beliefs, and the things that we want to do and be able to go and achieve those things without being finessed, without having a fear of uncertainty while doing so. And it's sad.
I'm like, is college worth it at this point? Are they going to be able to get FAFSA? Are they going to be able to get Pell Grants? Are they going to be able to get student loans? Are they going to be able to afford college?
No.
Are their families going to be able to put food on the table tomorrow? Are they going to make it to college? But yeah, let's give tax breaks to billionaires.
Someone who was a young 20-year-old who lived through like the 2008-2009 recession, what did y'all do?
This is an excellent question. I don't think the recession that's about to come will even compare to the one we had back then. And I mean that this one might be worse. When recession number one hit in 2008, I was freshly married. Our rent, I think, was maybe $700 and we were on 2 incomes.
The good old days. I remember when rent was that cheap. Even just a few years, like not even 2008. You remember in what, 2000, any time before COVID, rent was cheap. to be honest. And this is the thing. I'm not going to sit here and point the finger at the Democratic Party, the Republican Party, because essentially this is the system. This is where we're headed, no matter who's in office. There's people above the politicians and these people that you're voting for that they're trying to create a new development plan for the new economy, the new society going all the way into 2030. Look it up. These things have been in place since day one. Because you know why? Because it has to be control. It's too many people. Lack of natural resources. There's billions of people on this earth. These rich people, these people at the top, they want to be able to sustain. They don't care about you. They care about themselves and their own legacy and their own family. That's why we're going into this. That's why she's saying, yo, it is nothing like we've ever seen before, because it's not. Shit is not sweet. Yo, this is a time where you need to band with like-minded people and develop a plan and really just do something that doesn't involve living in the confines of this system. I think we all need to come together and develop our own system. That's the only answer, because we keep relying on good old America, and it has gotten us nowhere. I'm not saying this is the worst country or anything. I love America. I truly do. I don't mean no harm. I love the fellow people. I love the home of the brave, the land of the free. It's a melting pot full of opportunities and, great dreams beyond whatever you can imagine. But it looks like that American dream has turned into the American nightmare at this point, because look what it's gotten us to. It's hard to even sustain ourselves. It's hard to live. It's hard to function. This paycheck to paycheck is not worth it. It's just not it. Where's the true liberation, the true freedom? Where's the true freedom? Because to me, that's just a new form of slavery. There's no true freedom within this system.
Doesn't feel as hard when you're living with another person. You've got two incomes. Than this one will feel. For a lot of you who live alone, fast forward to 2009. I worked at an industry association, and a lot of our members were in the automotive industry. We had layoffs. I want to say in the spring of 2009. Fortunately, I did not lose my job, but I think 30% of our staff was cut. Fast forward to summer of 2009, I had just started a new part-time job. So again, money was looking a little funny. I have worked 2 jobs on and off since college. If y'all can get a second job, I would highly recommend it. Recessions are perfect times to pick up a side hustle, a second job. You need a second source of income, because if one goes, you can ramp up the other, and vice versa. Last thing.
That's true. This is the day and age where you have to find a way to create passive income. Find a side hustle, start a business. Start making some cloths and start selling it. Start making some jars of honey, label it, come up with different flavor. I don't know, whatever it is. Get creative. Try to figure out a way to make a living for yourself, because focusing on these jobs and whatnot, it's damn near impossible. Right now, it's hard. You gotta work damn near 3 jobs, and that's not conducive for the everyday working American. We got other things outside of work. Nobody wants to be bothered by all the everyday stress of just working just to maintain. We want to eat the fruits of our labor. We want to be able to enjoy the luxuries that life has to offer, instead of just having to constantly put ourselves in work mode 25/8. Especially if it's not anything that I truly love doing. But even if there is something that you truly love doing, you shouldn't have to always burn yourself out on a day-to-day basis. It is hard. So like I said, find something that you hold near, just get creative. I don't know what it is. You might draw paintings and you might sell I don't know. But it's about that time. It's time to be self-sufficient, or else you're just going to get left back right behind.
I'll say about the recession of 2008, 2009 compared to the recession that's coming now is we didn't have all the other noise going on in the background. We still had some hope because my president is black, my Lambo's blue. Like that was the vibes, even though the recession was looking a little shaky. Government programs weren't being cut. Federal workers were still largely safe. It feels vastly different. While as an elder millennial, I've been through a couple of these recessions, I'm gonna just be honest, babes. I don't think any of us, other than our grandparents who went through the Great Recession, have any idea of what this is about to feel like. Our advice is not gonna help because we haven't been through what we're about to go through.
And I'm not gonna say it's a depression. We gotta step outside of that. Just because things are expensive, we honestly gotta look within. No matter how hard it is, we always find a way to overcome. You gotta rely on God. You gotta rely on the things that God has gifted you with. You know, you gotta figure out a way how to sustain. You know, instead of just relying on this system 24/7 and worrying about the problems that come with it, that's just more stress you gotta worry about. You know, it is hard. It is hard. But we're all going through it. We're all feeling it. You know, so like I said, you got to get back to the drawing board. Start over. Hey, hell, if what we've been doing hasn't been working, it's time to try something new. What do we have to lose at this point? What do you have to lose at this point? Nothing. It feels like you're already losing everything as the days go by. Your insanity, your sanity, your finances, your mental well-being, physical well-being, because you're putting all this energy into to really just to sustain. I'm trying to find my wording right. I really can't. I'm a little under the weather. My mind is discombobulated right now. Please pardon me. Forgive me. But like I said, you just gotta just get back to the drawing board.
Collectively.
Major recession indicator. My mom has completely stopped talking about facials altogether. I haven't heard her mention a facial in at least a month. So things must be going bad. I'll have to look into it.
Gen Z really got the short end of the stick. As soon as we graduate, there's a global pandemic and we have to stay in our houses for about 2 years. We thought the economy was bad. It's only getting worse now. I am moving back in with my parents because I cannot afford not to. And I think that is one thing that people do not talk about enough is the lack of opportunity for Gen Z. Unless I wanted to go into severe...
It's a lack of opportunity for everyone. Unless you're one of those people who graduated college back in the 1970 whatever, and you already have established your generational wealth, you're excluded from this. You're excluded from this. But the people who are really putting themselves in school and who are still trying to figure it out, even some people who might not come from a background of generational wealth, and they just want to work a job and just make a living for themselves, it is hard. It is hard. The job market, the rent, the cost of living, everything is just so expensive and it's hard. But the question is, we know the problem, but what is the solution? What is the solution? I'll tell you, the solution is communal living, getting back to the drawing board, getting back to how we've been evolving as a species since the beginning of time. And that's relying on each other, not the capitalistic system that we live in, that we like to call America today, where everything is rooted off of money, your status, your credit, all these different things. Some things are tangible, some things are not. But it's about, like I said, being sustainable. That's the earphone came out my ear. What, like what else? But I don't know. And it's like, I don't even have to go overview on this video because it's just making me more down. We already know the problem. So what is the solution? What are we going to do? Are we going to keep getting on here expressing our fears, our doubts within the system? Or are we going to sit back, reflect, and think about how we can become better from it? Get back to the drawing board. You know, build with like-minded people who all have gifts and trades and, you know, talents that know how to sustain themselves, who know how to live, who know how to fish, hunt, who know about communal living. Maybe we got to get back to that. Maybe you got to go live in a tent and somewhere in the middle of the woods. I don't know. I don't know what's the answer, but that sounds like that's closer to the answer than sitting on here and being in fear because of what our system continues to do from the last 50 to 100 years. So, it gives you something to think about. I can't even talk right now. My throat, I'm under the weather. My throat is bothering me. My mind is everywhere right now. I can't even formulate sentences right today. I don't know. I'm discombobulated. But forgive me. I just thought I'd come here quick with this quick little video just to give y'all a heads up to what's to come. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Y'all leave a like, y'all leave a comment, and any thoughts, any concerns, you know, voice your opinions. You let me know. What do you think the answer is? What do you think it should be? Comment down below. We're going to be reacting to another video soon. I might start another one probably like within the next hour or so. Just thought I'd come here quick, this little video about our future depression. So I just want to give all praises to the Most High God and this one and beloved Son, Jesus Christ. And I just want to say, the question of the day is, what are you going to do? I just want to thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. You just tuned in with another video with Turn Me Up Tony. See you guys on the next video.